Should you wait for him or no?
Nope.
Did he say to go?
Nope.
He's grading you.
Well, I've already shown him this, so.
Oh.
Care less. So, how many people, I know, I'm gonna get to it. So how many people believe in magic?
In what?
Magic.
In a young girl's heart?
Like, what are we talking about with dinner?
Like magic tricks.
Oh.
Do you believe that they're real or?
Like, do you believe that there's actual magic behind it?
No.
Okay.
Wait, are you
So.
talking like roast magic?
Like,
or
It depends on how well good the magic is.
Oh, grab it.
So,
So,
yes and no.
what I'm gonna do is
Who shows magic?
pretty much,
Yes.
it's basically a number trick, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prove that tricks are just what they are. They're just basically magic tricks. So, before I start this, I will need a volunteer for it. I saw your hand first.
She's close to 5.
And I think she knew where I was going with it. So, first thing I need you to do is I'm going to need you to think of a number between 1 and 31. Do not tell me, obviously. It can't be a negative. Don't make it a decimal. You don't make this simple. Okay? So, I'm going to put this up on the screen, and you tell me if you see your number up there.
Yes.
Okay? And there's 5 of these things. Okay, how about that one? And that one?
Yes. Yes. No.
Okay. So, I'm going to take a guess and say it was 22.
Yes.
Okay. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain how that actually worked. So, obviously, I don't have the attention span to memorize exactly what's on each page, and I didn't. So, for example, let's take this one. If they say that they see the number on there, you add that first number on that list. In this case, it's 16. And if they don't see it, you don't do anything with it. So, for example, you didn't see it on this one, so you don't add anything. We saw it on this one, so you add 4. So in this case, what I was doing in my head was I was thinking 16 plus 4, that gave me 20, and then she saw it on this page, which has 2, so that's 20 plus 2, that gives me 22. So that's pretty much how you figured it out, and what I did here is during some of my free time, I wrote up a program in C++, which is a programming language, and it's pretty much the same thing, what I just did, except it's actually using a line of code. So let's use your number of 22. You know, you said you did not see it on this page, right? This time it's going backwards, right? So you don't see it. And we saw it on this one. We saw it on this one. We did not see it on this one. And we saw it on that one. So, basically what it did is that it took any page that I put a Y on. I just have that, so that's the way the code worked. Is anything I put a Y on, it added it in the processor, basically. Well, in the program. And then it takes whatever your added number was and outputs onto the screen, which is that. If you put a no, it just doesn't do anything. I could have hit any key and it would have done nothing. But that's just how I did it. And then I just have the same, you know, answer up there. But the point of it is that, you know, I'm not going to get into disproving magic altogether because, you know, there are some touchy topics that, you know, I really can't go into. But
You should never reveal the secret.
yeah, that too. Except, I was actually going there next, is that during the 1997 or 1998, there was a TV show that pretty much revealed a bunch of magician's secrets and how they were done. Basically what I just did, except this one wasn't on there. But it was a guy named Val Valentino. He has won numerous awards, I believe. And what he did was that he performed a trick as a magician would, and then he would go about it, not saying anything, but he would show exactly what is being done. And the voiceover would say exactly what he's doing. Now, he did this for multiple tricks. He did it for card tricks. He did it for disappearing acts. You know, he did not do this number trick, however. This one is pretty much, well, this one just came from my grandmother, so I don't know where she got it. Haven't been able to ask her. So, yeah. Any questions on that?
Can you try with a different number of the interval?
Okay.
Like do 9.
Okay, so we see it there. We do not see it there. We don't see it there. We see it there. And we don't see it there.
Is it 20 questions ball?
Oh, I have one of those.
Okay, what was the question?
20 questions ball.
It's kind of like
They
that.
have them online too, like you can type in like, or you can like think of a person and it'll ask you a bunch of questions.
Think of
yes or
an
no
Yeah,
questions.
it's,
One time I did wall carpeting and it figured it out.
The first question, like, is it a mineral, is it a liquid, is it an object,
yeah,
is it a ghost?
it's pretty much the same thing here. I mean, if I go back to this here, let's see, where did I have it here? Yeah. I'm just gonna put it right here on the, I'll go like this one. You can see that there's this if right here. That's pretty much asking if this happens or this happens, do that. So that could be what's going on online, is that if you say it's an animal or a vegetable or a mineral or whatever, do this. You could go to a bunch of different databases and it can eventually narrow it down. But it is online, so massive powers of the internet.
What about this whole generation of kids who've grown up with Harry Potter? Are
Oh,
they gonna be like,
Well,
I loved Harry Potter, and I'm not a weirdo waving a wand at people.
It's in the fiction section, we understand.
are you sure?
no, we're all right.
I used to wave my letter every year.
I've actually been to the Potter World in Universal.
But, you know,
Yeah, you're not
You
the
do.
only one.
Well, magic's a kind of,
I have
math is
two
kind of
wands.
a magic, isn't it?
it kind of is. I mean, like, it just came out
Well,
of
they did have
nowhere.
magic
Right.
books that were clear.
But, you know, if you're running a game, you know, if you're playing an online game, that's pretty much the same thing I did here. It's just lines of logical code going through.
Yeah.
You know, you're not physically, you know, killing something, you're running a killing program.
Did I ever, this is probably relevant, Dan. Back, I was teaching at Western Connecticut State University, and some guy was making bomb threats. And so we decided, the dean and a couple of us got together and figured how are we gonna figure out who it is? We know it's somebody in the building. It's gotta be a student in the building. It's gotta be a guy. Women never do this.
That was your first mistake.
It is, you were in school at that time, so we were able to eliminate such things, you know? So we figured, okay, this is what we'll do. The dean, who of you had a test or paper due today? And then we get the whole list of all the students from those classes, and that eliminated like 75% of all students. Then so we had the list of, let's say, I don't know, 100 students, let's say. The next time, who of you, the next time it happened the second time, who had a paper, a test due, or a quiz due that time? And then we got the list down to one person, who
And
matched both.
did he admit to it after being confronted about it?
We told him the dean told him he had a choice, either to be prosecuted and fight it in court, or quit. He quit.
So yeah, that's pretty much the same thing, you know.
Yeah, it is, that's why I bring it up.
Doing comparisons.
Yeah, elimination like that, yeah.
Good example.
Yeah.
Perfect example, actually.
And the funny thing about it is, he probably wondered, how did they figure this out? How did they know it was me?
Did they do something similar to find the guy who blew up those bombs in Boston yesterday?
I would assume they're gonna use very logical processes when used that.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes stuff, deductive
Yeah.
reason, yeah. They'll find them,
Elementary.
They already-
Oh,
they
so
said
it's
that.
obviously a magician.
obviously.
Yeah.
And it's an inside job. I don't think it's a terrorist from outside the country. I think it's a local.
Pretty low, it
Yeah.
looked like really
If it
local.
was I had a kid, I know a person who was in the military and he specialized in everything that, in bombs and stuff, pretty much anything that is not nuclear. And he said it wasn't like a military explosion.
Right,
He
right.
Not to use the wrong, like the
It was a
wrong
farm boy
come
thing.
off as insensitive,
Yeah.
but it seems like a bit of a clumsy attack for an international.
Pretty incompetent, yeah.
And they found like 3 other bombs.
Did they already?
I think they found-
There's two.
They said
We
they
don't.
found
The FBI came out this morning and said there was 2 and only 2 devices.
Yeah, I saw that contract.
I think we're all set, Dan, thank
I
you.
also,
Any other questions there?
searched a
Good, Dan? Thanks, Dan.